Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time, then welcome for the first time to Shiva Live. Clearly you can see from the title that I'm going to be helping you with my 4-step program, Get Over Your Ex. Okay, we're going to be talking about how to get over your ex, because I know some of y'all out there really need this, because some of y'all are crazy. I am going to be talking through these steps and they're very practical, so just keep watching. Okay, just keep watching. Step 1 is block that ass. Block that ass. So I will disclaim that this is only a step for people who know that their breakup is legitimate. Okay, so don't do this if you're one of those makeup, breakup, makeup, breakup, makeup. Okay, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about those type of exes. I'm talking about an ex, okay? An ex. Somebody that you know it's kind of over for the most part, or maybe you might reconvene at a later time, but no time in the very near future, okay? You want to block them, and here's why. It's not about being mad, it's not about being salty, it's not about, being petty. I say block because at the end of the day, if you're having a hard time getting over someone, it's a lot harder to do that when we have social media now and we're constantly connected to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, back in the day, if you want to break up with somebody, or you're trying to get over someone or whatever, you can avoid them. You can give yourself the proper time to not see them, or to reflect, or to think about what happened, or to make your final decisions or whatever. Now we're constantly having to see the other person, having to see their friends, having to hear about them, see what they're doing, see who they're hanging out with, see what new hoes they got, or whatever, okay? So the reason why you want to block them is because at the end of the day, it's not about being mad or salty. It's about protecting your own peace and your own healing process. And you can't heal and get over them or move on or whatever while you are watching their every move. It's hard enough when you love somebody or you care about somebody, let alone when you're stalking them and stalking their friends, or maybe you're not even stalking them. Maybe they just keep coming up on your stuff. Like, it's just not healthy. Like, you just need to, for now, remove them from your life, everyday life. That doesn't mean forget about them. It just means give yourself some space and some time. Sometimes that means you gotta just hit that block. Just hit it. And if the person feels like, oh, you blocked me, because some people take social media really serious. So if the person is like, oh, you blocked me, like, wow, la la la, whatever, you can just kindly say, like, listen, honestly, it's no offense. It's nothing to you personally. I'm having a hard time, and I'm not mad at you. I'm not angry, even if you are. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. But, I had to block you just for my own sanity. It's not a you thing. It's a me thing. And if anybody want to feel a way about it, let them feel a way. That's not your problem. All right, now we can move on to number 2, okay? Now, I know for some of y'all this is going to be a hard pill to swallow. Number 2 is to stop speaking on him. Alright? If you really want to get over your ex, one of the things you got to do, even though I know sometimes it's hard, to stop talking about him, to stop talking about his hoes, and what he's doing, and how it made you feel, and da-da-da-da-da-da, all this stuff, right? But you have got to stop speaking on him. You have to realize the power of your own tongue, okay? If you sit around and you say, for the next 30 days, 6 months, year, if you sit around and say, I'll never find another love like that. If you sit around and say, I'm so heartbroken, I can't believe he did this to me, he's a this, he's a dog, he's a da-da-da. Even if those things are absolutely true, and I do believe that, everybody has the right to say their own piece, express how they feel. However, you have to understand that the more you speak that on yourself, and the more you sit in that type of negativity, like I said in one of my previous videos, the more you dwell in that type of negativity, the more you're going to attract it. The more intensified it's going to feel, the longer it's going to take for you to get over it. It's taking you longer to get over it because you're not allowing yourself to even think positively enough out of the situation to even move on. You're just so focused on just drilling down about, how you feel about it, or how messed up it was, or how much you aren't over it. Stop saying you're not over it. Even if you're not over it, stop reiterating and making that your focus how not over it you are. That's not going to help you get over it. So maybe you don't want to say, I'm over it, but when you start to feel tempted to say, oh, you know, I'm just still so heartbroken, blah, blah, just replace that with, I'm accepting it. You know, somebody asks you, oh, how do you feel? Like, are you still sad or whatever? Just be like, I'm accepting it. Even if, you know, you're still heartbroken, part of being heartbroken, that's fine, but you can be accepting it and be heartbroken. The more you speak to yourself, I'm accepting it. I'm accepting it. You know, I am trying to move on. It is what it is. You know, I will find something better. I can do better. I will find something the same. I will find love again, whatever. The more you speak that type of stuff in your life and into your reality, the more slowly, very slowly, you will start to feel progressively better. And you will start to feel like, I'm accepting it. Okay, I'm accepting it. I'm moving on slowly but surely. Okay? Now that right there takes us right on in to number 3. Number 3, to get over your ex, okay, you have to start accepting it. Now this right here is the hardest one, but probably the most necessary one, okay? We've all been there, okay, including myself. It's hard, I get it. Like, we've all been there, sis. Trust and believe it, okay? But you have to start accepting the situation for what it is, for the reality of what it is, okay? Now, if somebody cheated on you, somebody did you dirty, maybe you did them dirty, who knows? Maybe it was more of a mutual thing, or maybe it was more of an incompatibility thing, or they didn't like something about you, or whatever the situation is, okay? You have to start to accept it. You're not going to get over it anytime soon. You're not going to get over him anytime soon if you don't start making acceptance a priority, okay? Now, let me be clear, okay? Let me be clear that when I say accepting it, I do not mean that makes it okay. That's not what acceptance means in this video, okay? What I mean is, you have to start understanding that everything happens for a reason, okay? Sounds cliche, but it's true. You know, the universe has its way. Things are playing out exactly how they're supposed to play out. No, you don't want to hear that. No, you know, you're going to find a million reasons to tell me why that's not true and da-da-da, but it's the truth. Also, you got to understand that no matter what happened in the situation or whose fault it was, it's really no one's fault. At the end of the day, everybody has their own personal baggage. Sometimes what people do to you is not really a reflection of you. The way that people treat you sometimes is not a reflection of what you've done wrong or what you've done right. It's nothing that you could have done to change it. You understand what I'm saying? Whether you liked it or not, whether you agreed with it or not, whether it was messed up or not, whether it broke your heart or not, whether you thought more of the person or not, doesn't change the reality of what happened. And it doesn't mean actually that they're necessarily a bad person either, or that you're a bad person, or that it was either one of y'all's fault. At the end of the day, we are all just people doing the best that we can with the tools we were given. You cannot expect that you're gonna come in somebody's life and the 20 years or 30 years of childhood traumas, experiences, their parents, other relationships, and all this other stuff is just going to be fixed because you love them. You don't know what's going through people's minds, what's on their heart, what's on their soul. You just don't know. So my point is, you have to accept the situation for what it is, how it is. Period. Strictly logical, okay? It happened. It's over. I'm going to try to focus on moving on. There's nothing that I could have done to change the situation. The universe has its own way of dealing cards. You know what I'm saying? And we play the cards how they're given, but the universe ultimately has its own way of making shit happen the way it's supposed to happen in the time that it's supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta just let that hurt go, sis. You gotta just accept it for what it is and just focus on what you're gonna do moving forward. Accept it, period. Okay? On to number 4. Number four. This is something that really, really helped me in the past that I'm passing along, and I pass along to all my friends. and it is about rediscovery. Okay? The worst thing that you can do is sit around and dwell and be mad and be sad and just sit around and the next thing you know, in 6 months, you're in the same damn spot, still sad, still mad, haven't accomplished anything, nothing changed, haven't fixed yourself, haven't nothing, okay? You're just the ex who's bitter and angry. So what I mean by rediscovering yourself is, you know, bored minds wander, bored minds stalk, bored minds don't move on, don't move forward. They stay in the same spot, they talk shit, you know, they just don't do anything. Take this time to rediscover your peace. Find your peace, okay? Maybe you never had your peace outside of a person. Your personal, individual happiness should never rely on the presence of another person, okay? So go find your peace. You know, if you have idle time, which we all do, instead of sitting around dwelling or talking to your best friend about what he's doing or sending screenshots and da-da-da, take that time and fill it up with productive activities. Fill your time with positive distractions, okay? So don't go and get involved with some new guy that you met at the club last weekend, and then that becomes a whole thing, and he's your rebound, but even though you're not over your ex, so it becomes a whole messy situation, okay? Don't distract yourself with drinking, drugs. I'm sad, so I'm gonna smoke tree. Oh, don't fill your life with that. That's not a positive distraction. Fill your life with, you know what, I've always wanted to go bungee jumping. You know what, I'm gonna go bungee jumping. I've always wanted to go to Mexico. You know what, I'm gonna make it a project of mine to plan out this trip and map this trip out to Mexico. It could be something small. I've always said I was gonna read that book, but I've never read it. Sit your ass down and read it and give it your undivided actual attention. Sit down and learn how to do your makeup. That's something that you wanted to improve upon, okay? Fill that time with personal development and things that you want to do, things that you've always wanted to do. Matter of fact, even you can fill it with things that you haven't always wanted to do. One thing that really helped me when I was in a situation was I randomly, I don't even know where this even came from. I had never been a nature person or anything, but when I was really heartbroken at one point, one thing that I started doing was going hiking. Now, it was totally random. I don't know what made me think to do that. I just was like, you know what? I just want to just get away from everything. I just want to get away from everyone. I don't want to hear anyone's opinion. I don't want people keep coming over to me, asking me how I'm doing about it, keep telling me what he's up to. I don't want none of that. I just want to just get away. And I went hiking one time. That became literally my escape, was hiking, nature, parks, driving out to the middle of this mountain, driving out to here, going to the beach, spending time alone, and not even in a sad way. It became a very peaceful thing that still sticks with me to this day, a hobby of mine, and actually a very big part of who I am is just I love the outdoors. It's just so peaceful and it put things in perspective. You can go out and find that thing for yourself. You're not gonna find it sitting around talking about what someone else is doing, you know? You have to rediscover who you are. Who am I outside of this relationship? What are the things that I enjoy? What are the things that I've never done that I've always wanted to do? Fill your time with that and you cannot go wrong. Because 6 months from now, 7 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, instead of still being broken up about all this stuff that happened with this person, being bitter and mad, you're the self-developed, grown, the ex that people look back on and they're like, damn, she really glowed up after me. But you know the people who don't glow up after their exes? The people who sit around being mad and angry and bitter as if that's gonna change anything. So, to bring it on home, step 1, block that ass and protect your peace at all costs. His friends, they might be cool, but if they're friends with him, they're sharing pictures of him, they're on his Instagram story, they're gonna talk to you about him, they're gonna bring him up to you, they're gonna say, I'm so sorry for what happened. You don't need it, you don't wanna hear it, you need to protect your peace. Block him, block all the friends, block the mutual people, block it all out and give yourself the time that you need to just get over it, process it. Step 2, stop speaking on him. What happened. The power of your tongue is very, 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 very important. You're not gonna speak negatively on him, you're not gonna drag him through the mud and all that. Stop saying anything negative about it. It is what it is. Number 3, what happened, nothing you can do to change it. If things come back around at a later date, they come back around, and let the universe conspire and do its work. Understand that people have their own personal issues. Sometimes it has nothing to do with you. Sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes it's not their fault. People are just people, and they're doing the best they can with the tools they're given. Stop going over it a million times in your head. Accept it. Move on. And number 4, rediscover. Take this time to rediscover yourself, discover new passions, new hobbies, figure out what it is that you want to do with your life, how you want to do it, work on a side hustle, grow your coins, do some things you always wanted to do. Just undistracted, positive energy into yourself, productive people around you that build you up and lift you up, and, you know, just peaceful, okay? Just find your peace and try to just let the self-love overflow, okay? All right, y'all, so I have completed my look. Okay, I am not doing lashes because this is just a little daytime lunch outing. Okay, I'm not about to do too much, but she cute. Okay, I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was impactful. I hope it helps somebody out there who might be going through something. These are things that I have all used on my own self. These are all things that I preach to my true, real, closest friends. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comments. If you have any suggestions, matter of fact, of other things that you feel like can really help you get over your ex, drop them below. And yeah, I hope to see y'all in my next video. So, see you next time. Bye.